Hey guys, welcome back to the Maker's Gonna Learn YouTube channel. My name is Alicia and I want to show you all some super cute Easter and Spring Dollar Tree DIYs today. If you missed it, last week we did an entire haul on all of our favorite spring and Easter DIY products. Make sure if you guys have not watched that, you hop on over there and see all of the products that we got. We're going to be using a lot of them in today's video, but some of them may have been passed up on or we just decided we didn't want to use them. So make sure to check out that video after you watch this one. And if you're not already, make sure to hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you're notified every time that we make posts. So for this project, we wanted to put together a cute, simple Easter basket using Dollar Tree supplies only. Let's go ahead and get into it. So I went ahead and cut a name out to go on our little bunny. We're gonna be painting our bunny today, and we're just gonna add it to this basket. I've got some ribbon, some paint, and even some filler for our Easter basket. Okay, so I just mixed a little bit of the pink and white to give us this like pretty pastel coral color. We're gonna go ahead, let that dry, and then apply our name. Once it's completely dry, we can go ahead and apply our name. I just cut this out of HGV using the Cricut, and I'm just gonna sit this right on here, and then I'm gonna use our mini Easy Press to apply some heat. So I'm just going to set my mini Easy Press to this medium heat setting, and then once that's heated up, we will go ahead and iron this on. I'm going to grab a drill so we can put a little hole up here so we can hang this from our basket. And then I'm just going to put a little hole up in this corner. Okay, then I'm just going to take this piece of twine and run it through the hole that we created, and we're just going to tie it onto our basket. So there's our little tag, and then you can just add in whatever stuff that you want inside of your Easter basket. So for the next project, we're gonna make cute little name place settings using these tiny little terracotta pots. And then you can grab either kind of egg, depending on your vibe, from the Dollar Tree. I've got our floral moss. I've got some paint I'm gonna use to distress our terracotta pots. And then I went ahead and measured the eggs and cut out a name that's gonna be equal to the size of the egg. So the first thing that we want to do is go ahead and distress our little terracotta pots. I've just got a paintbrush and some water and some white paint. I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit of white paint right there. And then I'm just going to get my brush wet and kind of get a little bit of paint on my brush and then wipe off the excess. Then we're going to go in here and kind of dry brush this little pot, and it doesn't need to be consistent or neat. We want this to look very much distressed. Okay, so our little pot is distressed. The next thing you're going to want to do is add some moss. This stuff is very messy, but just go ahead and put a little bit into your pot. We want to leave enough room for our egg. So I just grabbed one of the eggs out of our little carton, and then I've got my name here, and I'm going to just add this on to the egg. So once your little egg is done, we're just gonna plop it right here in our little flower pot. And y'all, this is the cutest thing I have ever seen. If you want them to stay, you can go ahead and add a dot of hot glue just on the bottom of that. That way they kind of stay in place. But y'all, I'm obsessed with this. It's so cute. For the next project, I want to use one of these little cloches from the Dollar Tree. I'm so in love with these. They're super cute. You can just remove the bottom of that. And we thought it would be really cute to add a wooden base in, and these actually fit pretty well. I think we can hot glue around it, and that's just gonna give it a little extra touch. I feel like the wood really elevates this project. So let's see what we can come up with. So I went ahead and got our hot glue gun ready. We're just gonna add some moss and one of these little moss bunnies and then apply the lid on top. Now while my hot glue gun is heating up, I'm gonna go ahead and apply our heat gun and get this sticker off of the cloche. These little wooden bases are actually from Hobby Lobby, and we just took an early American stain and just stained that entirely and let it dry overnight. Okay, so I'm just gonna add a little bit of glue and then add moss in sections just so it doesn't dry. And then I'm just gonna pop one of these bunnies on top, and these are all like standing or sitting, so you can use either one. I think I like the standing one. I'm just gonna put a dot of glue on the bottom and then go ahead and attach it. So we've got our moss and our bunny, and now I'm going to just put this cloak on top of here and kind of get rid of any excess moss, and then I'm going to attach it with hot glue. This next project is so cute. This is an idea that I've had in my brain, and I wanted to see if it would look cute whenever we actually put it all down here and did everything. So what I was thinking was taking these little tags and then taking some of this Dollar Tree tissue paper and Mod Podging on top of the bunnies. And then I think we're going to attach them to the banner. So let's go ahead and get started. So I'm just going to apply a thin coat of Mod Podge all over. And then we're just going to take our tissue and then what I'm going to do is just kind of pull away from the bunny, and you're going to have a few little rough edges, but I'm going to show you a little trick on how to clean up your edges. So I'm kind of pulling down and away. So what I like to do is take a lighter and just take it along these edges and kind of burn away any excess Mod Podge. Okay, and now I'm just going to repeat the same process for all of the bunnies. I'm going to need 6 to cover my entire flag. So I'm just gonna add a little bit of hot glue to the back of these, and then I'm gonna attach each one alternating to the burlap flag. Just make sure you don't glue it to the actual surface that you're working on. Y'all, I am obsessed with this. It's so cute. Honestly, you could stop here, or if you wanted to add a Cricut element, you could totally just measure your bunnies, and then you can take some little cardstock letters and just add them on here to say whatever you want. Now, you're going to be limited depending on how big your banner is. Obviously, if you've just got a 6 flag banner, which is the standard size at the Dollar Tree, you can always add flags together. So like you could get a whole nother set of this bunting and make like a really long one. But you can totally go in here and add little letters on top of these bunnies and it would still be really cute. So we've cut out the word spring. And I'm just gonna place them on here so you all can see how cute this is with letters. Okay, for this next project, I want to make a super cute Easter door hanger using this Dollar Tree wooden bunny cutout and one of the self-adhesive wall tiles. I've also got some ribbon here. I used white HTV for the letters, and I'm going to give you guys a quick little Design Space tutorial on how to set up a wood sign. But this is just a sign from Michael's. It's an 18-inch round. I've painted it sage green using a flat or matte chalk paint. But let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start with our bunny. So I'm going to go ahead and open our tile. And what I'm going to do is trace the bunny on the back of this. And then that way we can adhere it and it'll be perfectly outlined. So I'm going to put the side that I'm actually applying the tile to touching the back of the tile. So I'm going to go ahead and put it just like this. I'm just going to take a Sharpie and trace the entire thing. And then from there, I can just cut this out. And it's got a clear film on the back, but I'm just gonna let that stay on there for now. And then we'll remove it once we apply it to our bunny. So we've got this cut out. What I'm going to do next is just hot glue this to the wooden bunny. It comes with a sticky backing, but just to make sure that it's really adhered down, I want to hot glue everything. So I grabbed some chalk and a mineral paint in white, and I am just going to take a brush and paint this entire bunny. Okay, while that dries, let's go ahead and hop into Design Space and I'm going to show you all how to lay out your sign. So in Design Space, let's go ahead and pull in a circle. This is going to be an 18-inch circle, which is the size of our sign. And then what we're going to do is add a text box, and we are going to type in whatever you want, but for our sign, we're going to do Cottontail's Carrot Patch. And I'm going to be using the font Century for today's project. This is a Maker's Gonna Learn font. If this is your first time on our channel, we are a membership-based crafting community, and we offer you thousands of files a month as well as fonts. So this is one of our fonts that I love so much. I'm going to go ahead and change my colors just so we can get a better visual going here. Okay. Go ahead and do another line of text that says Carrot Patch. And then we're gonna do 25 cents. And if you're not sure on how to size these, I would suggest going ahead and laying your bunny on your round in real life and then measuring how much space you've got on each side. And then you can go ahead and use the curve function to curve your letters. Okay, I think that looks perfect. And then we can just hide our circle. And you're gonna go ahead and make it. And we're gonna be printing this out on white HTV. So you're just gonna want to make sure that you are mirroring your images. And then we will go ahead and cut this out with the Cricut. So I've got all of these cut out. I'm just gonna go ahead and lay them on here where I want them to go. I'm not gonna iron anything down yet because I wanna make sure that my rabbit is gonna fit right here in the middle. It's how I want it. So this is kind of where I want it. So I'm gonna adjust my Farm Fresh and I want this to be in line with it. So I'm just gonna kind of adjust it this way. Once I've got this where I want it, we can go ahead and take our mini easy press and adhere all of our HTV to the sign. Okay, I'm gonna make a small little bow tie for our bunny. So I'm just gonna cut a strip of this ribbon. I love this Dollar Tree ribbon, it's so cute. And then we can just kind of pinch it right here in the middle. Then I'm gonna cut off another piece. We're gonna roll it up. Then I'm gonna wrap this piece around the middle of our bow. Okay, so once the paint is entirely dry, I'm just taking a piece of 400 grit sandpaper and I'm going to distress this bunny in different areas. So once you've got it distressed to your liking, I'm just gonna go ahead and add some hot glue to the back of our bunny and make sure it is adhered down really well. The last thing I'm going to do is add a piece of this Dollar Tree jute rope to the back. This way we can actually hang it. Okay, after you've got your hanger on, it is completely done, and y'all, I love it. It's so cute. This is going on my front door. I am obsessed with it. What do y'all think of the crafts so far? I am just head over heels for all of these spring DIYs. I really thought they were gonna be cute, but they're honestly exceeding my expectations. If you all like what you've saw so far, we would really appreciate if you put a thumbs up on our video and make sure to subscribe if you haven't already. We've got a few more crafts for you though, so stay tuned and we're gonna keep on going. So if you all watched our haul video, you probably saw our little garden knee pads, and we had a fun idea and I thought, let's just go ahead and try it. We went ahead, we got some pom-poms from the Dollar Tree. We showed these in our haul as well. They're so cute for bunny tails, they're perfect. And then what we did was take one of our MGL files of a little bunny and we cut it out of cardstock, that way we can reuse it. And what we're gonna do is just place this on here and I'm gonna stick pins just right through the cardstock. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is just take a true control knife or an X-Acto knife and I'm just gonna start cutting along the edge of our bunny. And this cuts really, really good on the surface, but the mat is pretty thick. So we're gonna go ahead and just cut as deep as we can, and then we'll have to go back in there and cut it a little bit more after we remove this. Okay, so you can see here, we can obviously see our cutout. What I'm gonna do next is just take this X-Acto knife and I'm just gonna continue to cut through there. Okay, so once it's entirely cut out, I'm just gonna go through and kind of cut off any excess foam. You can use scissors or your X-Acto knife for this, but it will trim up pretty good. So once you've got it entirely cleaned up, all you're gonna need to do is grab your little puff ball and we're gonna put a dot of hot glue on that. And then we're just gonna put it right here in the center. And y'all, how stinking cute is this little bunny? You could do these in all different colors and even put them in your kids' room as decor. I just think that would be so cute. We also tried to paint these and we used chalk paint at first, and the next day we came in and it had like peeled off. It was just not the look we wanted. So we ended up using a latex based paint, so like a satin or a gloss finish acrylic paint would work perfectly. You're just gonna need to do 2 or 3 coats. And then something else you can do is add a dowel rod to these. You can just kind of slide a dowel rod up here through the bottom, and these make really cute little planter decorations, so you can put them in with your plants. And all you have to do is just kind of cut a little hole and then push this up inside, and then you can stick the dowel rod into the plant. All right, for the next project, all you're gonna need is some clear Dollar Tree vases or votives, some Dollar Tree florals, and clear Elmer's glue. Now they sell this at the Dollar Tree. If you can't find it there, they've also got it at Hobby Lobby. And all we're gonna do, if you find this flower, it's probably gonna have like a black pot on the bottom of it. I just plucked it right out, and I'm gonna add this clear glue to the bottom of our votive. The effect we're trying to go for here is that the flower is sitting in real water, and this will dry eventually. It's gonna take some time, but it really looks like there's just a little bit of water in the base of our votive. So I've got a little bit of stuff on the bottom of this. I'm just gonna make sure it's clean. And then we can just slide this right down in here. And then I'm gonna chop these off with just some wire cutters. I think the key here is just to make sure that your stems are long enough for the flower to be actually sitting outside of the vase, but still allowing the stem to stick into the glue at the bottom. So I'm gonna let those dry, and then we will plug an aftershot in here for you guys. The next project we're gonna make is a super cute votive idea. So what we've done, we've gathered some dowel rods. I've gotten these little wooden bases. I went ahead and painted these like a linen white color. You can see this is their natural state. This is with the beige chalk paint or linen chalk paint. And then I've got these super cute colored Easter eggs. And I've got a drill with a drill bit about the size of our dowel rod. We don't want it to be too small because it won't fit, and we don't want it to be super big either. So kind of match up to the size of your dowel rod, and let's go ahead and get started. So you're gonna wanna sand your wood blocks before you actually start painting. So sand them first and then paint them with a couple layers of a nice chalk paint. And then I'm gonna want to trim my dowel rod up so that it is not this tall, because I want it to be a little bit shorter here. So what I'm gonna do, I pre-drilled a small hole into my base. I'm just gonna put my dowel rod there. And then I'm gonna grab a Sharpie, and I'm just gonna kind of measure how tall these eggs would go. So I've got 2 eggs here, and I think I want it to be about 3 eggs tall. So I'm just gonna put a marker here. And honestly, I don't want to put it right at the base of the egg, because what we're going to be doing is putting another piece of wood on top. That way we can set a candle on the top of it. So I'm just going to make it maybe like an inch above where the egg would lie, because I'd rather it be a little bit too long than a little bit too short. And then I'm just going to pop that dowel rod in there. And these eggs already have a hole in the bottom, so I'm just going to put a hole at the top. And I actually might need to cut that hole a little bit bigger. So I'm going to take my drill. So I just put a hole in the top and the bottom, and I'm going to see if these fit. Okay, so I went ahead. I had to go up a drill bit size in order for my eggs to actually fit on my dowel. So I just adjust it as you need to. I'm gonna slide that one on there. And then I think this one I want to be a little bit more at an angle. So I'm gonna do a hole through the top and the bottom here, but kind of on the sides. Okay, so you can see there, that one's a little bit sideways. Then we're gonna do the same thing with the 3rd egg. Just a little bit sideways. Okay, so you can see we've got all of our eggs on here. And then what we're going to do is take our other painted piece, we're going to flip it upside down and just pop on the top of that dowel rod. Now, I think my dowel's a little bit too long, so I'm going to trim it down a little bit and then reapply. And just for extra security, you can always put a little bit of hot glue on the top of the dowel and then apply it. That way it kind of has some type of adhesive on the inside to hold it a little bit more securely. Okay, so here it is from the side. How stinking cute is this, y'all? I love these. Not only that, but you can make these different sizes. So if I wanted to do one with just 2 eggs, if I want to do an even taller one with 4 eggs, I totally could. I would be careful going over 3, just because you're going to have a candle on top of this. You don't want anything that's super rigid or not steady. But like, these are just so cute. I might even recommend using a flameless candle when you're using these. But I mean, it feels sturdy. But I just, you know, want to take all the precautions. Okay, for the next project, we're gonna be talking about water slide. So if you haven't done water slide, I'm gonna give you guys like a quick little rundown on how to do it. We've already actually cut out our design, but I just wanted to show you how to set it up in Design Space so that you are successful. But before we do that, I'm just gonna show you everything you're gonna need. Obviously, you're gonna need a blank. So this is just a Dollar Tree plate, love that. They've got different color options and things like that. I have a bowl of water. I've got our inkjet water slide decal paper. That's a mouthful. And then I've got this matte clear sealer protectant type thing. So any type of like sealant is what you're gonna need to use for your water slide decals. This is one of our favorites. It has a really nice matte sheen. Let's go ahead and hop into Design Space. Okay, so I have uploaded my image off of the Maker's Gonna Learn website. It's just a super cute little bunny. You're gonna wanna make sure that your image fits within the width and height parameters of whatever blank you're putting it on. So 6.7 inches, that's gonna fit perfectly on our plate. What I recommend for a water slide decal, especially if you're using a PNG image, add a very tiny white offset. So just a 0.15, and then we're gonna hit apply. So once you've got your offset on there, we're just going to select Make It. And you want to make sure that this is a print then cut image, so it will typically say right there. And if it doesn't, you can always click on your image and make sure that operation up here is selected to print then cut. We're going to go ahead and select continue. So once you get to here, I'm just going to turn the bleed off and the use system dialog, and then I'm going to select print. I'm gonna feed this from the rear tray in the best quality and then go ahead and hit print. And then once it's printed out, we're just gonna take some of our sealant. We're gonna spray one light coat in a well-ventilated area, let it dry for 10 to 15 minutes, apply another coat, wait 10 to 15 minutes, and then apply a third coat, let that dry, and then you can cut it on your Cricut. So when you go to cut your water slide decal paper, I like to cut it on the glitter cardstock setting with more pressure, and make sure to cut out the entire thing. And then what you're going to do is take your cutout image, and we're just going to saturate it in the water. Now it's going to curl up on itself, which is totally normal. We just want to make sure we get it completely wet. Okay, let it sit there for just a second. Then I'm going to just splash a little bit of water on our plate, just so we can kind of slide it around and get it where we want it on our plate. And then I'm going to pull this out, and you can see the back will start to separate from the front. Just be super careful so that your image doesn't tear. And then once you get it exactly where you want it, just take a paper towel, and we're just going to dab up any excess water. And then if you wanted to seal this, you can use dishwasher safe Mod Podge or whatever you prefer. I think these are beautiful as more of decorative pieces rather than plates that you actually eat on. But like, look how cute. I love how this turned out. And you can use any of the Maker's Gonna Learn PNG files to put on your plate. So it doesn't have to be Easter. We've got files for everything. So this is gonna be a little bit damp, probably into the evening. So I would definitely let it sit for 24 hours. You want it to be completely dry before you actually apply the Mod Podge. So we're just gonna let this sit before we seal anything, and then you're good to go. Now that we have made our plate, we're gonna make a plate setting that you all can use to put on top of your decorative plates for your Easter brunch, your Easter dinner, anything like that. So what you're gonna need first is some Dollar Tree flowers. This is from the $5 section. And I thought, how smart, I can just cut these off of here and then use as many as I need for however many place settings that I've got. I've got this really beautiful chiffon-esque ribbon. And then I have just some random fabric that we had laying around. Now, if you've already got napkins, then you're good to go. And then I've got some green cardstock. What I'm gonna do first is just cut off a piece of this fabric. I just don't need to use the entire thing. I just want enough so that it looks like a cute little napkin. And you could totally buy napkins and just do it that way. But this fabric just really spoke to us, so that's what we're gonna use. Okay, so obviously I've got some raw edges. I'm just gonna fold those up so you can't see them. Just like so. And then we can flip this over. And I've actually got a raw edge there too. So fold that up. If you have real napkins, then you won't have this issue. So we'll just do it just like that. Okay. And then I'm going to cut a piece of ribbon, I don't know, like 18 or so inches, big enough so that you can cut yourself a bow. Okay, and then I'm just going to tie this in a simple bow. You can even just tie it in a knot. It might be pretty. Let's try that. You can tuck it down, and then we're going to go ahead and dovetail our ends. Okay. So we've got our cute little knot there. And then I'm just going to take a pair of nippers, and I'm just going to cut off one of these white tulips. Okay, I'm going to kind of fix the petals so they lay nicely. Okay, I'm not gonna tuck that in yet. We're gonna go ahead and get to our Cricut element, so let's hop into Design Space. So I just pulled a random leaf file from the Maker's Gonna Learn website, and what I'm gonna do here is contour out all of those little lines. So I just want this single leaf only by itself. I'm going to hide all contours, rotate it around, and I'm actually going to cut off this stem. So we're just going to pull in a basic square. I'm going to line it up to the bottom of that leaf and make sure it covers the entire stem. Select both layers and slice it off. Then you can get rid of all of this stuff over here and you're left with just a leaf. The next thing I want to do is add in some holes. So our stem of our tulip is going to go through these tiny holes on our leaf. I'm going to duplicate that. So it's just going to go through both of those holes. I'm going to select one circle with the leaf and slice it out. And then I'm going to send this to the back, select the other circle, slice it out, and then we've got our leaf right here with two holes in it, and you can get rid of all of those extra dots. And before we do anything else, I want to add a name to this. So let's go ahead and make our leaf green. I'm going to add the name Tabitha to this, and then we're just going to use a Maker's Gonna Learn font to top it off. Okay. And then you can size it up so that it fits. Once you have everything designed, we want to make sure that we are not making our leaf too big. So right now you can see it's at 8.5. I'm going to shrink this down to closer to about 4 inches. I think 4.2, that is perfect. And then you can go ahead and make it. And then you can see this is going to cut out of cardstock, and then this is going to cut out of vinyl. So select continue. Feel free, if you want to hand letter on your leaves, you can freehand these with like a gold paint pen or something, would be really beautiful. But if you've got a Cricut and you've got just standard white adhesive vinyl, you can use that to apply to the cardstock and it looks really good. So we're going to cut this in just a basic vinyl setting. I like to use the premium vinyl removable mat. I'm going to select done and go ahead and cut out my name. And then we're going to cut our leaf on medium cardstock. Okay, so our leaf is cut out. Now we just need to apply the vinyl to our leaf. Okay, and then this is the finished product. How cute is this, you all? And you can do one for every place setting at your table. We finally made it. We finished all of our Easter and spring DIYs, and y'all, I am obsessed. I think everything turned out so cute, even better than I thought it would. And I would really love to know, like, what's your favorite? I keep eyeballing this little mossy terrarium. This is probably my favorite project that we made all day, but I would really love to know what your favorite project is. So make sure to leave us a comment below. And like I said before, if you have not subscribed already, make sure to hit that subscribe button, and we will see you all in the next video. If you are curious about any other crafts that we may be making here at Maker's Gonna Learn, we have tons of videos on our channel. Make sure to check us out, and we will see you in the next one. Bye.